I want to talk about why boundaries are important and get you thinking about boundaries, experiencing boundaries in a way that allows you to set them and see them differently. Let's redefine a boundary. Is a boundary a wall? Does a boundary actually just create distance and block you from the other person? No, a boundary is a container. A boundary creates, it distinguishes a platform or a playing field for your relationship to occur within. A boundary sets forth the structure and the frequency that you want and are committed to bringing into your relationship. And if you are not willing to set boundaries, you're not going to have a clear commitment to what it is that you and this other person are wanting to create in the relationship. Another form of a boundary is just saying that we are in a monogamous, committed relationship. And what that does is it protects the relationship from outside forces that could threaten the connection. We have an agreed, shared reality that we're monogamous and that we're committed and that we're not going to be putting our energy romantically into other people. That is a boundary. A boundary is an investment in a relationship. If I set a boundary with somebody, it's only because they matter. So it's not actually a selfish act. Yes, it might have myself in the equation, absolutely, but it's also an investment in the relationship because essentially what I'm doing with a boundary is I'm saying, hey, here's what I'm committed to creating between you and I in terms of a frequency, in terms of a feeling, a flavor in the relationship. This boundary is going to allow me to show up as my best self and not have any resentment, and I'm inviting you into that as well. If there is a person on the streets that runs up to me and starts screaming at me or calling me names, I'm not going to be invested in creating some type of relationship with them where I'm setting boundaries with them around how they should and should not talk to me because I don't know who they are and the connection is not important to me. I'm not invested in it. So if I'm setting a boundary with somebody, it's because I care. It's because I'm fighting for the relationship rather than saying that I don't care about the relationship. And therefore, I put the responsibility on myself to stand for the health of that. If you take this idea of a container and we look at what a boundary is, if I'm expressing my boundaries, the ways that are acceptable for me to be spoken to, the ways that I would like to be treated, I'm actually bringing myself, I'm bringing who I am into the relationship to be seen around the things that are important to me and the things that I'm a yes to and the things that I'm a no to. That definition of what falls within me and what falls outside of me is who I am. So if I'm not setting boundaries, I'm not bringing who I really am to the person that I love or that I care about in the relationship. Boundaries are an act of deep authenticity, and if you are holding your boundaries back and you are not fighting for boundaries, you're not being yourself in the relationship, and that is just going to create a hotbed for resentment.